Hey everyone, thanks so much for checking out this video. I did a live video last week about how to not get flagged and copyright and all that kind of stuff. I know it's kind of boring. Copyright is super duper fun for everyone, you know. But I got a lot of questions and I wanted to throw this out there. So this video is going to be in 3 different sections. So if you go down in the description, there's going to be some time codes you can skip ahead and jump around. So what I want to say is the first part of this is why I think that it's important for us to not let our accounts get copyright claims. I believe firmly that the Bible says to avoid the appearance of evil. And I think for a lot of people that they think that evil means, you know, like evil dictator, you know, Adolf Hitler. Well, evil, in my opinion, and I think that a lot of people would agree, would be sin in general. Sin is evil, and we want to avoid the appearance of sin in our lives. And the thing is that even though we know that we have a license for copyright, YouTube and other people don't know that necessarily. So when we have copyright claims on our account, I feel like that is allowing it to look like we're breaking the rules. And I don't think that as Christians we should be doing that. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I think that getting this taken care of is really, really important. It's a simple, put the code down in the description, blah, blah, blah. We'll talk about that in a second. But it's just really important that we don't just say, as long as we're not getting hard strikes and getting shut down, that's not the end of the world. I really do truly believe that it's important for us as Christians to avoid this at all costs. Do the right thing, do what we're supposed to do, and give everyone's credit to where it needs to go. All right, so with that being said, we're going to talk about Facebook and we're going to talk about YouTube and the 2 differences. So here's the deal. Let's talk about YouTube first. YouTube is a lot more superior on the level of video than Facebook is. YouTube's mechanism is a lot more powerful than Facebook's is. The way that they read the descriptions for information about what we have licenses for is super powerful. If you log into your CCLI account and you find your account number, that is your license number for your streaming license. Just go into the description, type out in the description after everything else has been done, CCLI license, and then space, put that code. YouTube will grab that. What is the CCLI streaming license cover? If you have the Plus license, which is what I suggest you buy, it says that it covers more than it really does. And let me explain. It should cover all of your backing loops. If you're using Loop Community for tracks and stuff like that, it will cover that. With that license in the description, YouTube will not flag any of your loops from Loop Community. That's who we were using. There's a couple other companies I think they cover as well, but that prevented our church from getting flagged for copyright claims for backing tracks. It also is just generically allows you to perform and cover the songs from the artist, and it's covering pretty much everyone from Hillsong, Bethel, Vineyard, Integrity. A bunch of those guys are all on there, so we shouldn't have a problem performing any songs. What it says it covers, and I think it's a little misleading in how it's said. It says it covers master tracks. That would lead a lot of people, it led myself included, to believe that that meant that we could play master recorded tracks like you're buying a CD from the store and hitting play. That's not what it covers. What a master track is that some artists will create a master track for you to perform to. If you've ever been to a wedding where someone has sang solo to a track on an album, which essentially is the full song without lyrics on it, that's what it covers. That gets a little bit more tricky, as you might have to dispute some arguments there by submitting the copyright license number. But again, we get rid of the claim. I think that that's pretty much where it's at. For YouTube, people keep saying, well, what about countdowns? What about intro music? What about before, pre and post service music? You can do one of 2 things. You can, and I'll put the link in the description for what I use. I use a company called Soundstripe. It costs me about $100 and something a year, depending on what you're trying to get. And that gives you music that is licensed. You can then authorize your church's account, YouTube account, to that account, and any music you use will not get a copyright claim. That's what we do for my church. I have a personal account that I use for these videos and things like that. I allow my church to use that as well. It covers us. If you don't have the money because you are a smaller church and don't want to spend the funds, YouTube has some free, license-free music in their library that you can find, you can download, and I would suggest using that as your pre-service intro. There's no lyrics, it's just background music so that it's not boring. Most countdown timers, like if you're using like Church Motion Graphics or something along those lines, they're using royalty-free music that you can download countdown timers with music on it. Everything's fine. You can also, if you're creating your own, use the same YouTube music or the Soundstripe or all the other 1.5 million versions of that software you can get. All right, let's talk about Facebook. Facebook is a little bit more tricky because its algorithm and its mechanism isn't nearly as powerful and figured out as the YouTube one. What does that mean? What that means is we also put our CCLI streaming license in the description of the video, and that works. When I did my live stream, I had been looking, and it had been a couple weeks since I'd looked, and it worked about 50% of the time. The bigger ones that we ran into is I didn't realize that I had some master music that was like actual like CD style music coming from Apple Music that was getting flagged. Once I realized that that was actually sneaking in, and we replaced all of that music with royalty-free music or licensed music, we haven't gotten flagged on Facebook a single time. So they are reading the CCLI license in the description. I've had to on occasion submit the CCLI license to them, and it takes it like almost immediately. CCLI is reporting to Facebook and to YouTube. So for everyone saying that it doesn't really matter, it doesn't matter if you are trying to take an Apple Music song from Bethel and play it on your live stream. You are right. That doesn't matter. You're not getting a license to actually put that song on YouTube for free without paying a significant amount of money to the artist, and well deserved. But there are plenty of things out there for royalty-free music, other licenses, companies that you can do, and getting your loops covered and your master tracks covered. Master tracks are probably going to be the trickiest thing because it sounds almost exactly like, you guessed it, the full-blown Apple Spotify style like song that you would play for someone. So you may end up having to dispute those and submitting your license. But again, we want to try and avoid copyright claims as much as we possibly can so that we are avoiding the appearance of evil and giving credit where credit is due and abiding by the laws of the land, and the United States has set copyright laws for a reason. Guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Subscribe, comment down below. Let me know if this was helpful, if you were getting copyright flagged and now you're not. If you have more questions for me, make sure you comment down below. Check out the podcast, Enhance, Don't Distract. Give us a 5-star review there. Subscribe. We're on Apple, Spotify, Google, all the things you can imagine. Thank you guys so much again for checking out the video. Until next time, I'm Justin. Make sure you're enhancing, not distracting.